Welcome again to another sketching from the neck up. This is another audio Bible presentation of the Bible Q&A with Johann. Today's questions referring to trials versus easy. Here is the question that was asked. Why does God sometimes allow his people to walk through trials instead of removing them immediately? Now, I have probably said this before. As a rule, whenever any why questions are asked, I always throw out this counter. Why not? I find that it is good to flip the script to get into the true heart of the matter. So, let me rephrase the question above. Why should God not allow his people to walk through trials and hardships? By the way, did you notice that I did not add the word sometimes? You follow the Bible narrative closely, and you will discover that our Father in heaven not only allowed, but he had most times actively led his loved ones to walk through the valley of death before reaching green pastures. Let us look at some biblical history. Just a few highlights. Abraham had to leave a life of comfort and live his whole life as a nomad to enact a promise that will bless all the nations. Joseph had to endure slavery and imprisonment for years just to save his family from a famine. Moses had 40 years of humility to learn before he became God's instrument to free the Israelites from Egypt. And let's not forget what the Israelites had to go through before they became the people that finally crossed over into the promised land. Those are just the example. Story after story in the Old Testament showed God guiding people toward hardship, towards the wilderness. Finally, though, as you read the Bible, you will find that he has placed himself in the same situation as us, for us. For the ultimate salvation of mankind, he made himself nothing by taking the very nature of a servant, a slave, being made in human likeness, and being found in appearance as a man. He humbled himself by becoming obedient to death, even death on the cross. Now, keep in mind, God did not have to do this, but he did anyway. Some might claim about the perceived cruelty of a loving God purposely putting people in difficult situations. But then no one will make a fuss over a parent training their child to push harder to win a race, or push their child to study harder to get the desired grade. Everybody knows in principle that when one goes the easy way, little is achieved. But when facing trials, regardless of the outcome, valuable lessons are always learned, and character is built and becomes stronger. But don't take my word for it. Listen to what the Apostle Paul and James wrote. Romans 5 3 to 5. Not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and character, hope. And hope does not put us to shame, because God's love has been poured out into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who has been given to us. James chapter 1 verses 2 to 4. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking in anything. This is Johann saying, Cheerios, and to God be all the glory.